nígbà gbogbo àríìrún àlá ẹlẹ́yinjú àánú ògbèjà kẹrù òkú níjà òyìnbó ó gbé ọ̀gá.
Welcome viewers at home to another episode of your program, our program,
We Need to Know.
I'm still your host on this program, Omoshile Michael Olugbenga, and co-hosting with me is the lady with the beautiful voice that just chanted to the Almighty God, and she is
Oluwakemi Oluwajamilare. Today's episode is going to be exceptional. We have two powerful men of God in our midst, and they are Deacon Godfrey Akuna and Deacon Moses Abubakar.
quickly we are bringing our guest now, Deacon Godfrey Akuna and Deacon Abubakar Moses.
You are welcome to our show, We Need to Know. On today's episode, we'll be talking about fatherhood and my family, youth and my generation. And sir, Deacon Godfrey Akuna, I would like you to define fatherhood.
Thank you very much. Fatherhood is all about having children, having time and spending time with them.
Alright, sir. Then, can you tell us who a father is?
A father is the person who is always there for the children, taking actual and absolute responsibility. That is who a father is.
Let's come to you now, Deacon Moses. Who should dictate the life of the youth? Is it the youth or the adults?
Well, thank you, and good day, viewers. We should detect the life of the youth or the adults. I'll say both. Yeah, because every child must have a father and a mother, and like the civilized world, you were meant to be under your parents to a certain age before you were left alone to experience independence. It all depends on the foundational background. You know, how well you were brought up. That will determine mostly how you're going to end. So if your parents are like the type that don't really care about you, it's all about work, it means you'll be brought up by neighbors, you know, peer groups, if possible you're a student, your schoolmates, and that may have an adverse effect on your future. So I think everybody has this role. Everybody, I mean to say your parents and you, because no matter how good your parent may be, you will still have to decide at a particular point in life.
How about those who do not have parents? Perhaps their parents are late and you're living with a guardian.
All right. I guess you're talking about me, because I lost my dad at a very tender age. I guess I was 1, and my mom, I didn't live with her most part of my years. So I lived with an auntie that was so strict, not wicked. And each time she talks to the children, because they don't advise you as like a slave or a houseboy, I take a whole lot of things from them, knowing fully well that they can't tell their children to go, the wrong way. And so, like I said earlier, it all depends on what you wish to become. Yeah, either you have a parent or not. It's not a yardstick for failure or for being a successful guy or a lady in future. So you just have to focus on what you think, because you see everybody around you is succeeding. So you decide whether I want to be like this person, and once you make up that mind to do that, something will tell you this is the way to take and not the way to take. And most importantly, God must be involved.
I like that word, when God is involved. But what about those youth who are not believers, they are not born again, and even their parents are not born again?
Oh, thank you. I think there's one thing about God, because it seems to be the next thing now. There's something about God, and it is called policy, or principle rather. It doesn't really matter if you were born again or you know God, like some of the Christians claim to know God. I'm so sorry for putting it that way. It's all about doing the right thing at the right time, applying the right principles of life. The advantage for those who know God and believers is just that you have a better edge in terms of the peace you have, how quick your answer comes to your prayers, and to me that's just the major difference. So even if you don't know God and you do the right thing, you walk with your hand. The Bible says there's no food for a lazy man. It didn't say there's no food for a lazy non-believer. It said there's no food for a lazy man. So either you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, or pagan, or whatever the religion you belong to. Once you're hardworking and you do all you need to do every day, knowing fully well there is a God who can help, you are good to go.
Thank you very much.
My question goes to Deacon Godfrey Akuna. Sir, is it hygienic, spiritually hygienic, to discuss sex with your children, male or female, or should it be done by the mother?
Thank you very much. Actually, it's hygienic to discuss sex with your children, either male or female. We should not always spiritualize everything, because if you don't discuss the sex issue with your children and they happen to go out there to discuss with other fellows, they got it wrongly, and at the end of the day, the parents will always end up regretting not discussing sexuality with their children.
But now, it's an advanced world now. Then there was no computer, pornography wasn't in existence. And so it was all about what you heard them say that you do and you believe in is in existence. So now, I think it's better. It's better. Going back to my colleague here, it's better for you to discuss things like that now. Because if you don't do that, even the children you're about telling have a step ahead. So they have these things all around. So I wasn't really told that when I was growing up. I learned it my own way, because there was no time.
Thank you very much, Deacon Moses Abubakar.
You're welcome.
How will it sound when they discuss with their peers in school that my dad just told me something about sex?
You see, I believe whichever way is going to sound to their peers will be dependent on how I taught them at home. I have an accountant where I work then, and who said she was about 20-something years before she realized that just a man touching you wouldn't lead to pregnancy, because that was the way the mom always. So the day she got touched in school, she cried home. But it's not a generation where you have to be too strict with everything. You just have to let them know, even if you're asking and teaching them, that is one of the biggest secrets of their life. You really don't need to teach guys mostly about sex, because they will just get involved in it at a certain age. But ladies, like you asked earlier, I think the mother will be better in doing that with the ladies, but you should also let the father, get into the knowing sometimes, when she's teaching it. I think it's better for the children, the daddy to be there.
Like you just said, that there's a lady who got to know at the age of 27, 28 that touching a man wouldn't lead to pregnancy. I have same experience, and my mom told me when I was coming to Lagos that Kevin, as you are going to Lagos, don't let any man touch you. If any man touch you, you definitely get pregnant. So I avoid them a lot. And so I kept on telling my friend that don't allow man to touch you. Hey, you will get pregnant. So but along the road, I discovered that they never tell us what it entails. But someday I got to know about it. And when I got to know, I got to my couldn't tell them, but it looks as if the whole world was on me. But for the men, I mean, so to say, guys, I felt the father should talk to the guys and the mother should talk to the lady. But you are saying that the guys will get to know on their own. I want to ask you that, do you think it's actually proper for the guys to find out on their own?
Okay, I think the questions are actually going back to my past. You know, the things I did when I was very young. And besides, these questions are actually meant for the father beside me, not a youth like I am. I'm not married. But before he chips in, I felt the first group play I had in the village was a very bad one. I don't like sharing it. I shared it among my youth severally. It was a very bad one. Because we're on TVs, I don't know. Okay, maybe it would be good for someone out there. You know, it was a play of 2-3 girls being among about 6-7 guys. We're doing this hide and seek game. And the next thing you're like, oh, somebody will go and hide. When they find you, they beat you up if you're a guy. And when you're a lady, I wouldn't want to say what happens to that lady here. So, you see, guys get to, you know, pick up these things quickly. For example, that's why it says you don't need to teach a guy to start winning a girl in school. And when the guy is winning a girl, it's not for money really. The major thing is the sex. And if you go to the background, he may not have been taught by the father that sex is this, you don't have to sleep with a woman. But for example, how many guys taught you when you go to Lagos? And how pregnant were you there? And so that is what I'm saying. They tell you that, they may not tell your brother that when he was coming to Lagos.
I remain your host, Omoshile Michael Olugbenga, and my co-host is
Oluwakemi